I bet that you've watched a lot of videos about like a morning routine that's super productive and like that ultra successful people do. And you maybe have tried to replicate it, maybe changing something up, but you've failed. Maybe you've done it for one day, but the next day you just couldn't. Then you feel like a failure because they do it and you don't, and then you deserve to not be successful because they can do their morning routine and you can't. Well, I mean, there's something wrong with that fundamentally because first of all, they may be lying to you. There are many fucking celebrities, especially like on YouTube, not actual people like The Rock and stuff. I believe they actually do the routines, but there is a lot of people that claim successful on YouTube and that have crazy morning routines. They probably fake it, okay? But also, if even if they did that, they have more experience than you. They are more experienced with just morning routine, which is work and all that stuff. They're more experienced than you are, and so you cannot just expect to be at their level just in the beginning out of nowhere. And so what I want you to realize is that you need a pretty realistic morning routine that you can try. And that's what I'm gonna tell you in this video. So first off, you need to sleep right. And to sleep, we first have to cover up the evening night part of the day in some way. And so you need to sleep at least 8 to 9, if not even 10 hours every night. And if you go to bed at midnight and wake up at 9, you haven't slept 9 hours. It's more likely that you've slept like 8 more. 8 if you're lucky, okay? Because 1 hour is just gonna be of you either being awake before falling asleep and also being awake in the middle of the night. And so you need to allocate a lot of time to bed. So what I advise you is to go to sleep if you manage to before like 11 and a half, maybe, if you can manage that. I go to sleep at 10, around 10:30 every day, except when I go out with friends. And so I found that to be pretty alright with me. I still feel kind of sleepy when I wake up, and I wake up at 7, which is a lot of time, okay, that I am in bed, but I still feel sleepy, and so that's probably not even enough time. So you definitely need more time if you sleep less than that. So what I want you to do is to try to go to bed before like 11:30, and to wake up. You can wake up at whatever time you want, okay? It is not one of those routines where you wake up at 4 a.m. and have a super productive morning and stuff like that, because you're not gonna do that. I couldn't do that either. It's okay, like, you don't need that, that's the thing. And so you can try to go to sleep reasonably early and wake up at whatever time you want. Probably would be best if you wake up before like 8, maybe 9, if you really have to sleep a lot. But that's my only, the only rule that I'm gonna tell you about for waking up. Because if you wake up at like 6 and you're fine, then sure, wake up at 6. Even better, you have more time to do stuff. But if you really can't, and you normally would wake up at like 12, I would advise you cut it to like 9. Now, depending if you have a slow start to your day usually, and try waking up whenever you want before 9, and try going to sleep whenever you want before like 11 if you can, and see if you have a slow start or a fast start of your day. But if you have a slow start, I would advise you just hop in the shower and turn it all the way to cold, and you literally stay there for 20 seconds, maybe 30 if you can, maybe a minute if you can. But it's probably not likely, because 1 minute is kind of a lot on a very cold shower. This is because you're gonna wake up with a cold shower, okay? I hope you probably know this as well, that you're gonna feel a bit more energetic and just active after a cold shower. And so that's my advice. But if you have a quick start of your day, and you just feel energetic as soon as you wake up, then you don't need that. You can just go straight to breakfast, if you have breakfast. And so this is the third step. You have breakfast, well, when it's time to. And if you have breakfast, because maybe you like doing intermittent fasting, or you just don't eat breakfast. And so if you don't, you go to the next step. If you do, of course, you have breakfast and then you go to the next step. But the next step is that you try to meditate. And now before you click off the video because you don't like meditating and you've tried and it doesn't work for you. Just before that, just try for a second to listen to me, and you need to try and do a meditation for like 3 minutes max, okay? And really try to do your best, and do not get angry if you lose concentration, if you lose focus on your breath and stuff like this, because it's normal, and that's actually the point of the practice, is to lose focus, and then whenever you do naturally lose your focus, you go back to focusing on the breathing. If you really don't know what meditating, how it works, this is in brief how it works. You just breathe and you try to focus on your breath as much as you can, and then you're probably gonna your mind's probably gonna wander, and once it wanders, you go back to breathing, focusing on breathing. So after your short meditation session, you can do this practice, which you've probably never really heard of or tried, and it's like you sit somewhere and you just think about 2 or 3 things that you're grateful for this morning. And this is kind of a practice that can be seen as like weird, even weirder than meditation in some way, but this has worked for me a lot. I write them down. I like to keep a gratitude journaling that I do morning and night before going to sleep. And so this is just because you're gonna feel a lot more appreciative for just things in general, and it's a good thing that you're doing that. It feels a lot. It feels very good, okay? And so you just sit there and think about 1 or 2 or 3, maybe if you can, things that you're grateful for, and they can be simple things like, I'm grateful to have a house, okay? That's good enough. You're gonna think like, I'm grateful to have a house because there's people that don't have a house, and so I'm grateful for that. I'm thankful for it, and I'm grateful for the sun because it's beautiful. I'm thankful for the sun because I don't fucking know. I'm just grateful for the sun. And you can try and find a reason, so like, because of this, but you don't really need to. You can if you like this practice, but you don't really need to. And so the step number 6 is kind of, you're probably not gonna want to do this, but it's just taking a walk. It's just going out for a walk in nature and just look around and appreciate nature. So this is kind of similar to the gratitude practice, because you're gonna like look and admire nature because it's really a beautiful thing, and that's about it. You can literally have a walk for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and you can, what I advise you to do is you go and try and find a place near your house which you've never seen before. And I assure you there are. You may be thinking that you know all about your neighborhood, but you probably don't. And it would be great for you to explore and find that stuff, because it really helps with the mind, okay? It really helps with your mental health. And I really like this practice. So I would advise you to do this too in the morning, so that you also get to moving and stuff, and blood flowing through your body and shit like this. The last step is something kind of, it's pretty normal. What I'm going to advise to you is to exercise in the morning, because I personally feel more energetic and more motivated to work out in the morning, but you can do it in the afternoon if you want. This is kind of just a general practice. It doesn't have to be in the morning routine. I would highly suggest you that you do it in the morning, but you don't really have to. So if you can go to a gym, if you go to a gym already, then sure, go work out in your gym. But If you don't and you've never really tried working out, or you haven't really been consistent with it because you don't like going to the gym, or you don't have a gym membership maybe, you can work out at home, and it's very easy to do so. And it doesn't take as long as it does to go to the gym, work out there, and go back home. It's really an easy practice. It takes like 20 minutes if you want, maybe 40, maybe 50 minutes if you really want to work out. If you really don't, and you just kind of do it just because, and sure, I mean, you can get it done in 15 minutes. So there are a whole lot of home workouts on YouTube, and I'm sure you've also seen those, which most of them are scammy, but try to go for the simpler, the most simple workouts that there are on YouTube. So like push-ups, crunches, pull-ups if you can do pull-ups, squats. That's what it. Of course, you can include cardio and shit like this, but it's just workout, just exercise in general. Anything that feels good, do it. Okay, 15 minutes you can do it. 30 minutes if you want. Sure, an hour even better. And so you're just free to choose whatever you want. But I would suggest to you that you do some kind of physical exercise. And so yeah, that's about it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got something from this video, and I'll see you in the next one.